Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to sit back, kick up your heels, and chill as we watch people go throughout the city doing stuff that they would do. Alright, so first of all, let's watch a lumber truck. Why not? There's no reason not to start with a lumber truck. Alright, once again, setting up our camera so it's nice. And I have weather and day and night transitions turned on. So as we sit here enjoying our little drive, we are going to be experiencing some transitions of day and night. Yeah, let's get down low. Yes, I think I even forgot to mention this highway in the introduction video because there's so many highways to the city. But yep, this is the highway that approaches the city from this angle. Our nice, beautiful circle awaits us ahead, although you'd be forgiven for not recognizing it from this angle because it's kind of hard to see. And it really does show that this map really isn't as flat as I made it out to be. It's definitely hilly, but very subtly. Really, the only ways it becomes more obvious is these what do you call it? Oh, I hate these. I have to turn these messages off. You'll have to remind me. Um, but yeah, we are on the ring road, which is not a perfect circle in the same way that the sort of the internal street that goes around the city is, but it's largely circular. Just a very gradual circle. And I think I know the general area he's going to because yeah, there is some industry over here. And this was back in my foolish younger days of playing Cities Skylines, where I didn't really understand that you had to zone industry certain things. On the one hand, though, it's a little bit less obvious in this city, which is made completely of sand, because the color of the grass is often an indication of what kind of industry you can put there, because farming industry will make the grass light, a very light green. Oil will make it sort of a gray, give more of a grayer tint to it, and whereas the ore industry will sort of give it a bluish tint. And of course, forestry industry is very easy to figure out because it simply takes place where there's trees. And you can actually create your own forestry district in places where there's no trees simply by placing trees. And eventually, the game will register it as lumber resources, which is what I think I did in certain areas here to a small, not very good extent, I'll be honest. The only problem with the tree doing that is that you can't just click and hold down trees and spam them everywhere. You have to click like a madman and just to create any number of trees, and your clicking fingers get rather tired, and oh my god, no airport would ever work this way. Planes landing within literal seconds of one another, taking off and landing from the same runway. It's a mess. It's a giant mess. And would never be allowed under sane circumstances. And man, this area is depressed. I mean, good gosh. Good gosh. What am I, a kid from the 50s? Whatever. Alright, so let's see if he's going to drop this off somewhere else locally, or if he's going to go to another part of our city. Yes, I talked up how interesting the city was to ride around in, and now we're just sort of poking around these ugly zones, although this area is doing pretty well. But yeah, it's, don't worry, it will get better. It'll get better soon. Okay. Well, we got 9% of cargo. We still got a little bit of stuff. Where's this guy going to go? And whoa. Yeah, trucks don't work that way either. See how he was all twisted. Oh, there we are. We've got it. And he's going to work his way back to the highway. You can even see our beautiful bridge in the distance. That bridge is really, really high. That bridge came with the map. I didn't design it myself, but yeah, it's a really high bridge. It's pretty cool. I think I kind of like it. So if I'm not mistaken, he's probably going to get on the highway here. And this is one area where there's still a bit of a jam problem. Oh wait, never mind. We're not getting on the highway here. Yeah, you tell him. You tell that highway to go screw itself, bro. We're getting on the highway somewhere else. Camera's being a bit of a dick with these buildings. It's like, oh, there's a building on the side. Let's jump up above the building. It kind of, with the sand and everything, it kind of gives it a sort of maybe a tad bit of a Southwest feel. I don't know. The building type is too generic to really say. I mean, I haven't personally been to the Southwest part of the United States. I have been to Southern California once, a very long time ago, although that doesn't really count. I mean, the West Coast is quite a bit different than sort of the inner Southwest, but I would think that this wouldn't look too out of place in Arizona or something, although you'd probably have different kinds of trees and things there. Okay, well, we found our way back to the highway, and this is a highway that goes straight out of the city, so no real point watching him anymore. So, what are we going to watch now? Let's see, do we got any cars that aren't driving out of the city? Okay, this guy is driving home. Let's see where this guy lives. You can find a lot more cars going to actual places that matter when you build new stuff, because the new people have to come in, and sometimes you get a lot of traffic jams and you get all worried because of all the new people that are coming in, and you just sort of have to chill out and realize that the traffic is going to die down once everyone is there. So there are a lot of overbuilt roads in some early cities where I didn't realize that the traffic was going to die down and go back to normal levels relatively soon. All right, take your bets. Will he cross the bridge or will he stay over here? Yep, we have railroad tracks down there. And if you're racing the cars down there with your eyes, you see that they have to slow down for those railroad tracks, but the guys up here, they just keep on going. Oh, all right. Getting to the exit. And as I might have pointed out, this is part of the outer highway of this part of the map. And this was built to ease congestion of some kind at some point, although it really doesn't have that much traffic on it, so it was probably one of those freak out, oh my god, there's so many people moving in, gotta do something. But here we go, driving right past these industrial zones. Yeah, let's see. Night's falling very soon. I would go in first-person view, and I might very soon, although you do have to consider the camera. The first-person camera is bugged. Once you go into first-person view, you can't get out of it until the car gets to where it's going, which is probably okay in this case, but we're just not going to risk it. And also, you might have bad luck and be stuck looking at the back of a truck, because they pull really close up to them, and there's not much you can do. But yeah, where this guy is going is a big question mark, because it's nowhere close by. And I just really like these roads that that very gradually curve. Gives a nice little effect. In fact, what I could do, I could even X this out. And we still see the car, but we don't necessarily have to see that tag. I mean, it's not really showing us any information that we really care all that much about at this time. I kind of wish there were ways to zone or to build these highways that don't have streetlights, because a lot of these are urban, but some of them, like here, are pretty rural and don't really need to be lit up in this way. Kind of like Interstate 95 in Philly has streetlights over it as you drive north, but as soon as you cross over into Bucks County, there are no more lamps on the highway, even though it goes through an area of Bucks County that's just as populated as Northeast Philly. It's, no longer the city, technically, so it kind of gives it a rural, they kind of put a rural treatment onto the roads, even though a very small township with, geographically speaking, township that somehow has 60,000 people, that being Bensalem, Pennsylvania, where I used to live, by the way. Somehow that isn't considered urban under the weird system that we have going on here. I mean, there's more people in Bensalem than there is in the city of Lancaster, Pennsylvania, I think, or it's very close at the very least. But yep, this guy, as you can see, he lives in this small town way out here. And I think that he's going to be parking any time now. Or she, I don't remember who it is. Oh, person's home. Oh, it's a whole family, Shirley Smith and Ashton Smith. Aren't they a nice couple? And there they go. The Umber residence, where the Smiths live. In fact, there are 11 people in this house. Something that's kind of weird about that game. Like, there's 11 people in this house, yet here there's one person in this entire place. Oh, and now there's nobody. Okay. Or here there's okay, I guess if you look at households. Yeah, because this looks like a single family house, but apparently has 3 households, where this one just has 2. And if we look at a residential building in the city, such as this, 21 households, I would imagine, unless everyone has their own floor, that there would be more. But it's not really a big deal, and we're going to find somebody else to watch. Okay, he's leaving the city, but he's boring. Okay. He's a senior driving to the Neptune Media Store. Don't know where that is, but we are going to follow this guy. Yeah, get right nice down into there. Getting better at getting the camera centered in, because it's very finicky. You have to press it in just the right way, and since there's a little bit of input lag with this game, even if you do it right, it's not going to be right, if you know what I mean. So, here we go. Kathleen Young. Alright, we're going to minimize that. But, she's driving in. Not sure if she's going to cross over to the other side, or if she's going to stay here. But I'm sure it will be interesting either way. Well, it looks like she's taken the same route that the last person's taken. That's the thing about this following people, is you might end up following people that are going the same way as other people. I mean, if this person takes the same exact route all the way to that little town, then there's no need to watch the entire trip, because of something that we just saw, as you know. But yeah. Ba-dum, 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 ba-da, ba-da, bum, ba-dum. Oh man. Going around the circles here. Yeah, this is the kind of the odd zone where I have two highways that are linked up. Yeah, I don't know about this person. They're going the same way as the other person. Sorry, you've ceased to be interesting to me. I hope that you don't take too much offense. Now, here's a question: can we find somebody who is driving away from this town? Whoops, wrong road. Or away from this town, for that matter. Somebody, yeah, you'll get a lot more residential, or a lot less residential, I should say. Alright, let's confirm that this person is leaving this town first. And then we are going to follow them. Okay, they appear to be leaving, and yeah, they're leaving. Alright, let's see where this guy is going. Or this lady, I guess. Would be a more accurate way of saying. This bridge that I built at least is high enough. Or, well, okay, it's almost high enough. Boat still destroys the bridge if this had collision. I mean, if this game had realistic collision, I mean, every airport would be just a death zone. Let's be honest. But you know what? Like sometimes too much realism can be just as much of a problem as not enough realism, because it can make games very unfun to play. Right. So we are heading into our lower city, as we can see here. The roundabout on the edge of the city, and will she go for the inner or the outer area? She's going for the inner area for the start of this highway, sort of the main highway of the older area. I should have names for these, because all this ambiguous stuff is kind of silly, but it's all right. It's doubtful I would even remember those names, let alone anyone else. But yeah, look at this. Look at this view. Let's try to get this a little bit more centered. Yeah, I just like I said before, it's very tempting just to create a bunch of curved roads. But once you see something like this, you know, just a straight down street, you know, this looks like it's real, you know. I mean, you can obviously tell it's a video game. I'm not saying it doesn't look like a video game, but this looks like, you know, if you put a certain treatment on it, it could be mistaken for a real city someplace, and it's very nice. All right, hey buddy, where are you going? Uh. With my luck, this person's probably already near or at their destination, or maybe not. This person seems to be getting onto the highway. Just kidding. Okay. Hey, you, biker guy, scooter man, highly educated adult on a scooter man. Let's see where he goes. Getting onto the highway. Will he cross to the other side, or will he stay on this side? The answer is cross to the other side. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to cross our beautiful bridge, and he is really too close to that truck. Like, if that truck had to stop suddenly for some reason, he'd just be a broken down sack of organic goo. Then again, oh god, boom, he's dead. Very sad. Tragic. Well, but anyway, there is a thing that people do where they will ride, whether in a car, a motorcycle, or just a regular pedal bike, directly behind a truck, and rely on the drift from that truck, sort of propel them forwards, you know, because anything that moves pushes air out of the way and creates a vacuum behind them, which is filled by air rushing in. If it's just a person walking, it's not that much. If it's a car, it's a bit more. I mean, I'm sure you've all seen cars drive over the road where there's leaves on the road, and then the leaves will start bouncing after the car, pulled by the wind. But trucks, needless to say, will pull much more air behind them than any kind of 2 or 4-wheeled little car or bike or anything. And that means there's a lot less air resistance for something moving that direction already. And if you do it right, you can really get some distance. In fact, I remember this happening in a movie that I saw once. I don't remember the name of the movie. It was like from the 80s or something, and it featured this guy who loved to ride bikes, and he was obsessed with like speaking Italian or something. I don't know too much more than that. Or I don't remember too much more than that. If somebody like can tell me what that is just from that tiny bit of information, that would really amaze me. But it's possible. But yeah, look at this. I just like this view here. This very straight highway that goes in the midst of all this development. And as we look at it from this angle, we can see that it is a low rise to the distance. Okay, we're passing over our main highway. Now, I think this is actually our central road into our main circular area, I think. Yeah, don't quote me 100% on that because I am not certain, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Okay. Let's see. Alright, don't get in the line with everybody. There's no point. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, we can turn this up. I keep forgetting we can close these boxes and it's a-okay. But yeah, look at these views, man. Just look at these views. Are we low as we can go? Are we in as far as we are? Yeah. That's as low as we can go, but look at that. It's just nice, you know? That's all I can really say, is that it's nice. It's pleasant. Whoa. Okay. Making a left turn. Try not to die. There's no traffic lights. But here we are on one of our other avenues. And I'm sure he's going to be turning, yep, to one of our side streets, which is anything but, really. I mean, look at how bright things are. Okay, he's home. He is home. Very lovely purses. Okay, and now we're going to watch Albert Blackwell. See where he goes. Whoa. Actually, no, that's perfect. That's perfect. Let's watch him. Albert Blackwell. Where will you go today, Mr. Blackwell? Yeah, you know there's actually a setting in this game where you can change what services are active during the day or night. I don't really like to use it because, number one, I don't usually have the day and night mode on if I'm building, and number two, well, that was anticlimactic, but what am I talking about? People will, the time it takes people to go from one part of your city to the other is sometimes longer than the day or night cycle itself, so the whole thing just is not that helpful. Interesting idea in theory, in practice, though, not all that that useful or well implemented. But that's alright. I mean, it's a relatively minor detail in what's otherwise a extremely good game. And I really hate how everyone's piling into that lane there. But I'm extremely happy that our guy is smarter than that. He is refraining from doing that. And I kind of wish there was no traffic light here either. That's another thing that I am kind of annoyed about, is that there's no real easy way to transition between a expressway and a regular road in a lot of cases. In any case, really. But if I was a modder, if I was a person with the ability to create my own mods, one thing that I would create is well, pretty much all I would do is create road mods. Let's be real here. But the kind of road mods I would like to create would be all would well, number one, improve intersections, add more customization in terms of where you would have turn lanes, and also transitions where you'd have 3 lanes go down to 2, better exit ramps where you have sort of the merge lane, which collapses into the regular road. And then I'd have things where there's transitions between let's say, a national road and a highway such as this.